welcome to another episode of Hard Factor presented by the Barstool News Network. It is Florida Man Friday, March 6th, 2020, and today is the return of the stopwatch, fellas. I apologize to the listeners. We've been rambling on, running a little too long in our stories recently, and not just on Wednesdays like we promised. So I've brought back the trusty stopwatch. You guys remember that, right?
Yeah, you got to keep us in check.
Certainly do.
I'll have it running here. Anyways, everybody, including myself, is on a clock now. I'm going to be brutal with the enforcement, so let's get it going. Let's try to stay on time.
He's just going to cut us off mid-joke.
Yes. It is a Florida Man lightning round, 8 stories. That's 28 minutes to get these 8 stories done. I've already given us an extra minute here because I'm being efficient.
Thank you, Will.
In this introduction. So it's, like I said, the lightning round. Starting with Pat. Get us going, Pat.
I'm going to say before I start, check out Wes's side table. They say find something you love to do, and you'll never work a day in your life. And that's a sentiment I can totally agree with. You agree, guys?
Yes.
Right. You have to try to find an occupation that you're wildly passionate about. The type of passion that no matter how high the hurdle, no matter how long the journey, you won't let anything stand in the way of your work. And that's our case here at Hard Factor.
Oh, for sure.
And in the case of 56-year-old Florida man, Jose Santos Vicente, that's practicing unlicensed home dentistry.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
also
okay.
fun.
That's his passion.
That's his passion. That's what he loves to do. So Vicente was arrested on Wednesday and charged with practicing dentistry without a license. Now, this isn't the first time, though, guys, that the haters have tried to stand in the way of Jose and performing all dental procedures besides root canals in his kitchen.
Did he ever try going to school for this?
Well, he says that he got his dentistry degree at the Dentist School of Puerto Rico. Mm-hmm.
So did I.
Yeah, so did I, too. Check the records. Try. Bet you can't. There you go. That's why it's genius. See, back in 2009, Dr. Vicente DDS was convicted of this same exact crime and subsequently served 2 years in the clink for it, where he presumably worked on the fellow inmate's teeth.
Was he a big fan of that Kane's from WWE, Kane's previous role, Isaac Yankem DDS?
He
was a dentist.
I missed that Kane character.
Wrestler.
Yeah. What this guy did really is he found out that he likes inflicting pain on people. And he figured this is the most legal way that he can do it.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
And most legal is key.
Yeah.
Either that or like he had some deals with people who couldn't go to the hospital.
You know, Will, I don't know. There are there's public clinics where you can get dentistry done. I think I pay $12 a month for my dental insurance. It's not that bad.
You don't have to go to someone's house.
Yeah, and I'm missing a molar. What was great is
maybe not you, but you know,
this guy seemed to have a thriving business because news cameras showed up outside of his house, and all day long people were stopping by to get their work done.
Are we sure it was just dentistry work?
Well, everything but root canals, buddy.
Jesus.
Everything.
right. That's what I'm saying. There could be some extra services in there.
No, I know. So
Yeah.
police guys were seen removing dozens of boxes of what I can only assume were full of human teeth from Vicente's home. Let's take it to the internet real quick. Mark Rector says, wait till he puts someone...
Mark Rector.
Wait till he puts someone under and they don't wake up. Then tell me how affordable he is and what a great option he is. And Eric Carver says, Mark Rector, that thought just occurred to me, and these people that go to him are crazy. He won't be going in my mouth. I can tell you that.
And then someone said, Mark Rector, he hardly knew her.
Yeah, and then Patricia Stevens replies to Mark Rector's first comment, says, where Mark Rector said, you know, what if you put someone under and they don't wake up? Patricia says, Mark Rector, happens in credible dentist offices too, due to the fact that
that's sad.
when it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
Yeah.
So Patricia's got a
same exact percentage at this guy's house in the professional dentist.
You could get killed walking across the street, Mark.
Yeah,
she walks into the dentist every time she walks in the dentist thinking, I might die today.
Yeah.
Also, like the people that go to Vicente's shop, like they're used to gambling with their life a little bit once in a while.
Yeah, it's part of
you
it.
don't just walk into an unlicensed dentist
That's
shop.
part of it, Will. I think that's part of the thrill.
Yeah,
Right,
but
yeah, I mean,
you go for the service, Will. You go for this. You go for the at-home.
You don't know what's going to happen.
The ambiance. You need
literally
to
at
write
his
it-
home.
All right, guys. Prelude to this story. Last night after midnight, I'm leaving the Hard Factor studio in Austin, Texas, and I heard what was clearly a very loud, very bad car crash down the street. So I jumped in my car and sped to what I assumed would be a horror scene, ready to like pry open rip off a car door. Just like I was like, I got to get here. This is gonna be bad.
I heard it too, but then I said, That's probably not Mark.
Mark's on the way.
And I went to
Yeah,
bed.
he just didn't care. I didn't vote him.
Yeah, probably not Mark.
Two short turns later out of the neighborhood, and I see that I was right. It was a horrible crash. 2 cars totaled, and I immediately went to help. Luckily, very, very luckily, no one was injured. Amazingly, it was 2 one-car male drivers, 1 kid, 18, and 1 guy in his 30s. The 18-year-old pulled out without looking onto a road that's a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit and got T-boned by an SUV.
Damn.
And it was on the driver's side. It took his car all the way down to basically the steering wheel. He was about 3 inches away from losing his life. I tried to help him move his car off the road, and I smelt the very strong odor of weed. I advised this 18-year-old that while trying to help him out and moving half of his car off of the side of the road so no one else would get in an accident, that I smelt weed on him and told him the cops were on their way. So, he might not have heard me. He was a 90-pound white kid blasting hilarious trap music that me and the other victim had to scream to turn the fuck down.
He was after the accident. The music was still blaring.
He was trying to put his car into neutral so he could move it, but the car was so destroyed that the only thing he could do is put his music back on.
Yeah. System still works.
System still works.
Subs
Pumping, bro.
So, long story short, everyone was okay, but the cops arrive, and the first thing they asked was, "Were you drinking?" And he said, "No, but I just smoked a blunt of weed."
That's a bad answer.
Just smoked a blunt of weed.
Texas, that's a bad answer.
You told him to ditch the weed, right?
I didn't. What, Pat? I would never advise anyone to commit a crime. So now let's kick it to the North Reddington Beach, where Jonathan W. Connors was arrested for his 4th DUI after miserably failing his field sobriety test.
Oh, no.
The police report said he reeked of booze as well, but Connors refused a breathalyzer. He was like, "Nah, I'm good."
I've been through that rodeo before. No, thank you.
He did offer up this information, though. He said, spontaneously uttered, that he smoked marijuana and had a bowl in his right pocket right now. And then post Miranda rights after he was arrested said he was high as fuck. So everyone, stop driving drunk and high, please. Just get a Lyft or Uber. In general, though, don't tell police you were high as fuck or just smoked a blunt after totaling your car and almost killing someone if they don't ask you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the kid in that story, he could have just said, I lost control of the car, and everything would have just been fine.
Yeah, he needed to learn a life lesson because he almost killed multiple people. But I mean,
Wes, how much
buckled.
would you have paid to watch from afar Mark handling that situation?
oh, I was
A lot.
First of all, Pat, fuck you. I was cool as a cucumber.
I know you were. I just love watching you deal with
I ended up
things.
calming both of them down, and I was the only one moving the cars. The place I was giving advice to the
were
18-year-old.
mediating the whole thing.
I smoked a cigarette with the 30-year-old. He shook my hand and he was like, "You're such a good guy." I was calm as a cucumber. You sat at home like a fucking piece of shit and didn't do anything.
I didn't know.
You cocksucker.
Remember that time we saw that guy get hit by a car in front of us, and then he bounced up immediately and started sprinting away?
You are not a hero in this story. sir.
Hey,
But that's when you know somebody's got warrants.
Yeah,
when they run away from getting crushed by a car.
or have a traumatic brain injury, one or the other.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that. All right. We're doing great on time, fellas. by
Thanks,
the way.
Will.
A whole minute ahead.
I'm very nervous.
Mark, there's not room for 2 heroes in this neighborhood.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can have it.
All right. Next up, we got a custodial parent double in Florida. So first up, a man involved in a high-speed chase in Okaloosa County, Florida, used a baby as a human shield while he sat inside his car where the cops had pulled him over on Interstate 10 as part of a custody dispute he was going through with, I guess,
God.
his better half.
How do you mean
and
human
then-
shield?
What's that?
How do you mean human shield?
Like he was like the
baby's
cops
small?
pulled him over and were like, "Hey, you need to get out of the car. You're in a custody dispute." And he just shoved the baby in between himself and the cops, and was like,
he was
"This
covering
baby's
he was covering all death shots.
That
His
guy's playing chess.
Head and chest.
Maybe he was just really proud.
Yeah, that's a good
Potentially.
point. Good point.
showing off the kid.
Yeah.
Check
I
it
did
out.
this.
potentially. Look how good he looks."
Yeah.
Good looking kid, huh?
The cops, they didn't think he was showing him off. They thought he was on drugs. So they had the remove a baby from a druggie special task force arrive, handle that situation, and then they got 31-year-old Zachary Taylor McKinney taken to the hospital. Well, on the way to the hospital, he tried to bite the police in the ambulance because they were trying to take him to the hospital to get the drugs out of his system. And then also, once in the hospital, he physically assaulted a hospital employee, I think a nurse, once he was inside. So he's facing several charges, going to be in jail for a while. So
How you gotta physically assault a nurse? That's,
Yeah, I
that's some low, soft corner shit.
Well, that is how you get drugs, though. That's if you're in the hospital and you assault the nurse, they're going to dope you up. So one thought.
True.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming he
friend
got
of the
drugged
program.
up.
Thomas could attest this, but nurses get assaulted.
That's true.
People,
People like this dude come rolling in.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I would
All
have
the
loved to
time.
have seen the get the baby from the druggie task force, because that cop has long hair. That's the chill undercover cop they bring in.
Yeah,
to
they
talk him
somehow
down.
just overcame his desire to use the baby as a shield, I guess, and just took it from him, and then they were able to. I mean, yeah, that's a fun task.
He's yours now.
Nurses are like the ER version of like a cable company's call center person.
How so?
They get all the brunt, and they don't deserve it.
Yeah, they're trying to help.
Good analogy, right? Yeah.
Trying
That's
to
great.
Help. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that
going to look
makes
up when
sense.
National
Okay.
Nurse Day
It is
Wes.
true. It is true. Nurses deal with a lot. All right, next up in the custodial corner, a Florida custodial parent who had enough, or maybe non-custodial, I don't know, of the Marion County Department of Children and Families back in November. He had so much that he tried to burn it down with 8 Molotov cocktails while he was drinking a 12-pack of beer that he had convinced somebody to buy him the gas and the beer at a nearby gas station. And then there was somebody watching him just yug beers and make Molotov cocktails
What do you
and throw
need?
them.
What do you need 8 cocktails?
Yeah,
for
got to
Molotov
tell you,
cocktails for?
this guy.
I mean, he
sucks
was
at
trying to
making
burn down
Molotov
a
cocktails.
giant building, so I guess
He knew he was a bad throw.
No, he's just bad at it. 'Cause
he was
one
drunk too. I mean, he's just drinking beers, so
Yeah.
Why did he stop at it? Where'd the other 4 bottles go? He had to pee
I don't
in
know.
something, I guess.
The eyewitness was just saying that it was just a mess. Like,
Every time he finished a beer, there's a new cocktail. Just pour a little gasoline in.
Yeah, and his aim gets a little worse.
yeah.
the eyewitness account is it's like real sad because it's like I mean his name's Tommy Holt, and apparently he did this because he had 5 kids removed from him. I don't know if he was in custody of them or not, but he says that this department removed his kids from him. But then the eyewitness saw this all go down where he's just hammering beers and throwing Molotov cocktails. So he's probably going to go to jail. He's
This
also-
eyewitness
yeah.
needs
He's
to go
going
to
to
jail
jail.
too, because
Yeah,
he
why didn't they stop it?
Yeah, he watched 8 beers be consumed, then gas poured in him, then chucked in a fucking hospital before the cops showed up.
I think they may have worked in the gas station.
Okay.
Like because they witnessed him get somebody like shoulder tap a dude to buy him the beers and the gas.
They're like, I hope he doesn't turn the Molotov cocktails on this gas station.
yeah,
really?
Yeah.
That
They're
could
probably
be bad.
keeping tabs on him.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this one comes from Hard Factor Mark, because you lazy sons of bitches didn't send us this one. And it's a classic tale of almost got away with it except for one tiny thing. So back in February 2019, Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell's home was burglarized. The thief used a torch to enter their safe, and up until this new information I'm going to share, nobody knew who had committed the crime. But they did have DNA from a tool that was used left at the scene. Fast forward to April in 2019, Tampa, Florida, where Marcelos's fine jewelry was robbed of about $3 million worth of treasure.
Whoa.
And again,
That's a haul.
That's a lot of
that's
cash.
a haul.
Man.
You think he would have stopped, right? No. And again, another sloppy crime scene. This time, the thief left behind a couple water bottles teeming with DNA, because thieving makes you thirsty and blowtorches are hot.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah.
If you can pull off these pretty impressive heists, wouldn't you know about DNA?
You'd think,
Haven't you ever seen like a procedural television show?
right?
Well, no, because it takes so much focus to pull off a $3 million heist. You don't have time for a Law and Order,
Okay.
potentially. So
All right.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like a fucking
Or
petri
cleaning
dish.
up your trash. You don't
Nope,
have time.
you don't
for
have time
either of
either.
those things.
Yeah, I mean the water bottle is just like a petri dish labeled
Laser
like thieves'
focused.
DNA. Anyway, fast forward a few months again in Ventura, California, and 33-year-old Marcelo Romero, no relation to Marcelo's fine jewelry, he is not stupid enough to rob his own store, even though this is Florida man.
I just like the name.
Yeah. Anyway, he gets arrested after attempting another very similar type burglary, all very high-profile movie type shit, same tactics and tools. So he was caught, and then detectives started to piece it together. This idiot could be the same guy from Goldie's house and Marcelo's jewelry. So using the vast amount of DNA he left behind both crime scenes, they swab him with the permission from the jail he's in, and he's fucked. He gets
Yeah, permission
connected.
granted.
Yep.
Who, Marcelo? Yeah, you,
Damn.
You could stick something in him.
Yeah, so he gets connected to Goldie's house, Marcelo's. Detectives from Tampa said, quote, the DNA comparison between Romero's DNA swab and the DNA recovered from the water bottle in Tampa showed the DNA was 700 billion times more likely to be from Marcelo Romero than any other unrelated individual.
Why didn't they just say 100%
wow.
that's
Right.
him?
And OJ is thanking God that this technology wasn't around when his case was happening.
man.
Because
Those
700
gloves,
billion is
he
a
would've
lot
been
more than
done.
9.7 billion times more likely that the prosecutors are using in his case.
Yeah.
So he's lucky.
OJ really was on
Is that the numbers
cusp.
they used?
Yeah,
9.7 billion
billion
times.
He was on the
Could be
cusp
anyone.
of getting away with murder. It was like the last era.
Yeah. So big difference there.
Quick question, Wes. So Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell's house, they have one in Florida, I'm assuming, or this guy
This was in
traveled?
California, Los Angeles.
So he traveled to Los
He's
Angeles.
traveling.
Coast to coast.
Really good thief.
They're thinking this guy's like a global like mastermind thief.
But he got
They
caught
finally
by
caught-
water bottles.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Once he's in the building, he's like, it's like a scene out of like a master cat thief.
Mm-hmm.
He's
like,
an idiot
movie.
savant.
You
Yeah.
know, I don't buy this, actually. I think this is part of a
Cat
larger
burglar.
heist, I bet, because Marcelo's too smart for this. I bet he left his DNA on purpose, and I bet there's something in that jail he's going to try to heist.
Yeah, that was. You're right. The goal is he
going
wanted
in
to
for an
land in that
inside job.
prison,
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll
but he was
see.
already in the prison.
Yeah, so he's on $1 million bond, probably in like some glass case that he can't escape from.
He'll get out.
Yeah, he'll get out.
He's gonna be out soon.
All right. And hey, guys, if you want to make millions the legal way, head on over to predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20. Deposit $20 or more and get $20 on us. We will be releasing a new pick show tomorrow. In case you missed the last one, it was great. A lot of correct picks on that one. With the return of Money Marv, Hammer, Stakes, and introducing Big Thicket.
Big Thicket.
Looks like Liz Warren is out, and at the time of this podcast has not yet endorsed anyone. Tune in to the pick show for a more in-depth look at those markets involving her, who she might endorse, which we will release today. Predicted.org/promo/hardfactor20.
Yeah, probably like this evening. Probably like when everyone's getting home from
Yeah, it's a
work.
weekend thing.
Yeah, it'll come out.
Enjoy it over the weekend. It's fun.
All right, guys, if you grow up in Florida, you know that there are only 3 ways out of the state. 1, selling OxyContin. 2, you get on a football or basketball scholarship. And the third, and least common, is finding buried treasure.
Oh, but the best.
Yeah, it's definitely the best.
Working for a living just isn't an option.
Yeah, coming from you, Will, who grew up in the land of opportunity, you don't understand that Florida, it's a little harder to get out, Will, okay? They don't have the same resources. Most Floridians give up on the treasure option by age 12 and focus on the more viable outs in drugs and sports. But in an inspiring story, one Florida man's persistence paid off as he achieved the seemingly impossible, discovering a trove of Spanish gold coins
Oh, hell yeah.
on a beach in South Florida.
That's amazing.
Every like metal detector's dream is this
Oh,
scenario.
yeah.
This
Oh.
is like what they hope for.
He
It's
did
amazing.
it. There's
He
like
did it, yeah.
so many jealous people.
Yeah, he did it.
There's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, a good chance that this is a planted story from Big Metal Detector.
Yeah.
Because metal detector
Well,
sales are going to shoot through the roof.
I mean, get a load of this beach. It's probably just swarmed with metal detectors.
all day long.
Yeah.
And we'll get
Or
to
either that or like Disney or Hallmark or like the people that make like after school specials.
Yeah.
about,
Well,
you know,
it's
like,
it's
the
like
guy
it's,
finding a thing on the
it's
beach.
going to tie into it's just a marketing for Pirates of the Caribbean 9,
Yep.
Right.
That's
Yeah,
also
there you
good.
go.
like a Spanish ship with gold coins.
I like our conspiracy theories today.
That town's flooded with idiots right now.
Yeah, it's like the gold rush. 43-year-old Jonah Martinez found the coins, which date back about 175 years, while walking along the shore with his
Metal detector.
metal detector. Martinez has been looking for his ticket out with his metal detector for the better part of the last 24 years, but has never found a haul quite like this. So the 22 coins are believed to have been aboard one of 12 Spanish galleons bound for Spain from the New World in 1715, but the galleons were lost in a hurricane, and their treasure is at the bottom of the ocean. But some of this treasure,
cursed gold.
cursed gold. Now, guys,
Exactly.
the value of these 20 coins is a staggering $6,000. So
Oh no!
Are you sure they're gold? I think they might have been silver.
the picture looked pretty gold to me.
Wait a minute. There's no way. You said it was 1715,
I think
1700.
they're silver.
There is no way it's only $6,000 if these coins are from the 1700s.
They're not gold. They're silver.
No,
They're not real.
They're gold. There's the picture.
That's just-
Oh,
that's-
they are silver.
Yeah, that's just natural like erosion, like rust
Yep.
looking.
No, they're
shit.
silver. They look gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6,000, guys. So considering Martinez has been out there for 24 years, that breaks down to a very respectable Florida salary of $4,000 per year. So good for you, Jonah.
Hey, still a good score.
Is it 6 or 60,000?
6.
So you said 4,000 per year. He's been out there for 24 years.
No, it's 400 a year.
Oh, 400.
What are you talking about?
Carry the zero.
You're like the woman that thought Bloomberg could pay everyone $1 million.
One chicken sandwich.
All right, guys. I have another intoxicated driver story for you.
Hey, guys, Mark's awake. I was checking.
Yeah, thanks. You know I hate it when
Got to
math
throw a
is
math
wrong.
typo
Yeah.
in there.
Another drunk driver, intoxicated driver story for you. Seems to be the theme here. 38-year-old Bricole Ranke of the state of Florida likes to party. She can't even wait till she's at where she wants to party. She just parties on the way to the party because it's always a party.
Well, I've never met a bricole, but I imagine that every bricole has this same problem.
Yes, I mean most bricoles.
When your parents make up a name.
I would say over 50% of
Breeze,
bricoles.
yeah.
have this
Bricole.
problem. Yeah, bricole. Bricole's fun caught the attention of the
Did you say
police.
Nicole?
No, bricole.
No.
Yeah, not Brittany.
Bricole, bitch. Get it right. She
Bricole's
says while
fun
she's handing you a shot a lot of times.
Yeah.
party. Her fun caught the attention of the police in Clewiston, Florida, when she was holding up traffic by driving less than half the speed limit in her Ford F-150 on a one-lane no passing zone, leading a trail of over a dozen furious honking drivers behind her. So Deputy Bone, awesome name.
Oh, yeah.
Are you kidding me? Deputy Bone of the Hendry County Sheriff's Office caught up to her easily and pulled her over for a wellness check to see what the hell was going on.
Where she immediately propositioned him for sex with a name like that.
Well, do we know if it could be a lady? It could be a lady bone.
Just one day in my life, I want to go by Deputy Bone.
They're like, yeah, do you want
Just
you,
once.
You want a promotion? No, I like deputy.
Like on my birthday, maybe.
Guys, I don't know if Big Thicket's going to make an appearance on the show tomorrow.
Yeah, you want to be Deputy
Might
Bone?
be Deputy Bone.
Bone's a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Bone, upon arriving at the truck, noticed that Renke wasn't able to keep her eyes open, was laughing hysterically, and couldn't figure out how to roll down the window. So it's tricky sometimes, you know. Another officer, Sergeant Krasinkas, saw red nitrous oxide cartridges in the center console. Uh-oh. Laughing gas, nitrous.
Whippets. She's just doing whippets in the car.
Quite a few.
But nitrous is also used
Quite a few.
for performance enhancement in vehicles.
When it's connected to the car.
Not this one. Yeah, not this one, which was going half the speed limit.
She calls her mouth the car.
Yeah.
Hook it up.
Tokyo Drift.
Hit the nos.
Renke admitted to Krasinkas that she had inhaled some nitrous, done some whippets. So we have a lot of hard-working and convincing boys and girls in blue out there recently that have just been getting these people to admit whatever the fuck they want. When she got to jail, they asked her if she had anything illegal on her, as is tradition, and she said no. But boy, was she lying, guys. She's a liar, Bricole is. She had 2 clear bags of cocaine and pink pills that turned out to be bath salts that were easily found during her strip search, probably not her first strip search. Here in total is what they found on the party girl and in her car. 20 used nitrous oxide cartridges. 1 nitrous oxide dispenser with a 9-gram cartridge in the chamber. Always keep one in the chamber.
Yeah, they call it a cracker.
Yeah, 90 unused nitrous cartridges.
For later.
So she had 90 for later. 3
having
small
fun in
clear
that
bags
car.
filled with cocaine and 6 pink bath salt pills.
Do you know what day of the week it was?
It was broad daylight.
Yeah.
It was
A little early, Bricole.
for cool parties.
Wait for the sunset.
When I was in college, I moved in with a guy, one of my close friends. It was his friend, and I didn't know him that well. And I went to the grocery store with him one time, and he starts pulling out, whipped cream and just doing whippets and tossing them in the grocery store. And I was like, oh no.
That's not good.
Yeah,
Remember
the
when
first time you run into a whippet is always amazing.
Yeah, it's a life changer for a few days.
You know you got to stop when you do one out of a condom.
Remember
though.
when Stuttering John was like in his 40s on the Howard Stern show, and he just got into whippets like in his 40s?
They're fun.
Yeah, they're interesting. I've definitely
You wanna
tried.
feel like you're in a racquetball court. They're awesome.
They're fun. You know
Don't
what
do
else is
'em.
fun, fellas?
Don't do 'em.
Indecent
Advise you to not do 'em.
exposure.
Yeah, it is.
Indecent exposure. So we got a double indecent exposure coming up. A 40-year-old Florida man, Kelvin Robinson, was arrested for exposing himself to a fellow customer at CVS in Gainesville on Tuesday. Kelvin popped out of the bathroom with his dick in his hand and told the victim, "Thank you, baby. I love you."
Nice.
Unquote. Yeah,
That's probably the best thing you could expect to hear from someone with their dick in their hand.
I beg to differ. I think Kelvin could have totally gotten away with this crime if he came out of the bathroom with his dick in his hand and was like, "Hey, do you know where the bathroom is?"
Well, it's a lot better than cover your eyes.
that is a better line to get away with it later, because Kelvin then just left the store, but then the victim, called the police, and Kelvin was apprehended by the cops, and he's being held on bond charges for showing his dick to somebody in the state of Florida
Yeah,
who didn't
can't
ask
do
for
that.
it. And that story just gave me great memories back to Baton Rouge, where my buddy Chase managed a CVS. A lot of fun times. Never saw a dick in his store, but probably saw some kids on whippets, though. Final story in the exposure corner.
What was so fun about CVS?
He
I
managed
don't know.
it.
He managed it. I would just go in there and hang out sometimes.
Discounts.
He called it Chase Value Services because he was Chase. He was the manager.
He just got high and would like hang out in CVS.
You're saying that you stole from the CVS
when you like read
No. I mean, there may have been a couple pro bono candy bars here or there, but that's
what do you do in a
about it.
CVS? Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
Just
They
hang
have
out, chill.
Like,
game
for how long?
Game plan for later. How many beers we're gonna drink?
Get your blood pressure taken.
They have a great as seen on TV section.
What do you like? Wait for your film to get developed?
Yeah, exactly. To talk about where we're drinking that night. Cool. And then the final story in the exposure corner, another one near and dear to my heart. A brother in arms of mine has been arrested for mooning everybody inside a restaurant, which is a sick move, by the way. It's a maximum amount of views if you're going to get an indecent exposure charge. The 23-year-old man was in Middleburg, Florida, trying to collect his wife's check from an unnamed restaurant when they asked him to leave because he was causing a scene. And that's probably when he muttered to himself, "Oh, hell no." And then he walked outside and mooned everybody in the restaurant through the glass. He, of course, was arrested as well because people eating their food were like, "Hey, this dickhead just showed his ass to us." And the cops came and got him. He's also being held on bond for indecent exposure, but in this case, maybe worth it because he got to show his ass to a lot of people.
Yeah, they call that dessert. In
you
Florida.
have that in common with PFT. Remember when he mooned the
yoga studio?
Yoga studio, yeah. Glass through the glass wall.
Yeah. You gotta. Sometimes you just gotta show the cheeks. It's a very comical move in the right setting, but
I think
it can
it's
also
fine.
backfire.
I was a little nervous. You said at a restaurant, and that's a health problem, but he was outside the restaurant, so
There's a protective barrier. It's like
I
a
would
condom.
say
the external glass. So
An ass condom.
if he didn't have like open sores and he wasn't showing the fruit basket, again, we say when you moon someone, if you don't show the nuts and the twig, the berry and the twig, then it should be fine.
that's true.
as
If you
long as
have
you're not around
pimples
food.
on your ass, though, that's a good point. You
Pimples
should
or
be-
sores is a
you
little
should
bit
be arrested.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no
should be
spreading
arrested.
either. You got to
no
keep.
No spreading.
No. It's got to be PG-13.
What are you, an animal? Yeah.
PG-13,
Well,
but
that's the indecent exposure.
You
fellas.
want like the common
Nice.
dad to be like tap his like kid on the shoulder and be like, check it out, it's a full moon. You know,
yeah, but like,
that's
hey,
it.
everyone's got an ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. To close it out, we are going to dive into some fantastic voicemails and reviews. Remember, leave us that 5-star review on iTunes, and we will pick our faves to share with you guys. Insult us, compliment us, as long as it's 5 stars. Call us at 512-270-1480. That number is also in our Twitter bio now, so check it out there. First up in voicemails, this one comes from longtime loyal listener and suspected weed dealer, Big Ounce. So if you want some weed, his phone number is, hang on, let me check it, it's 800-232-4636. Call that number. And here is the voicemail from
Big Ounce has a 1-800 number.
Yeah, he's got a 1-800 number. He's
Doing high volume.
He's up there. All right, here we go.
Yo, what up, fellas? It's Big Ounce. Got a little conspiracy corner for you here. So, because Biden can't fucking put together a sentence, right? So,
Okay.
come, I don't know, like a week, 2 weeks, whenever the fuck he's going to announce his vice president, pay attention to that guy. Because he's the one that's going to be running shit when they 25th Amendment his ass, Biden's ass, and he gets put into power, and then fucking... God damn it. Sorry, I'm at a stop sign. And this fucking idiot... Oh, God... All right. So they're going to 25th Amendment Biden's ass. And, now I'm fucking stoned.
Ounce?
No, Big Ounce. Not while driving.
Ounce. What happened, Ounce?
Wait. Still there.
Ounce. Ounce thinks Biden's an actual vegetable.
Yeah.
Ounce just defined
Do
irony.
I cancel this shit?
Is he still on?
Alright, fuck this. I'm pulling over. I'm recalling you.
Okay.
Okay. So he gets pulled over. Hang on. We're going to go to the other voicemail.
Oh, shit.
No, he didn't get pulled over. He pulls
He
over.
pulls over.
Oh,
What's up, fellas? It's Big Ounce. I got a conspiracy corner for you guys here. So, it's pretty clear that Biden can't put together like a rational thought, can't complete a sentence without reading it from a teleprompter or on his own piece of paper or whatever. So pay attention to who he nominates for his vice president, or rather who the powers that be, the people running Biden's campaign, nominate as vice president, because he's not running shit. Because once Biden, assuming he gets the nomination, beats Trump, whatever, which won't happen, but for play devil's advocate, let's say he does. Once that happens, they're going to 25th Amendment Biden's ass, and then as vice president's going to be in power, and then he can run 2 more times and stay in power for 12 years. Yeah, that's just going to happen for sure. All right, peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is I really want to smoke weed with Big Ounce.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Really
We all
want to smoke weed
do.
with Big Ounce.
But you notice there when you're driving stoned and trying to leave a voicemail, it's a little bit too much.
It is.
You're like,
It's hard.
he's doing too much.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's something to think about, I guess.
No, that was amazing though. I like that's a great conspiracy that
Yeah.
they're using Biden as a human shell, like he's
Yeah.
like he's a
puppet for the
fucking
vice
like
president.
yeah, like he's like literally just a skin bag
They
for
want-
somebody they want in there for 12 years.
They want
Yeah.
Buttigieg for 12 years
yeah.
Yeah.
for the companies.
It's an amazing theory. We'll see if it plays
What else
out.
you got?
All right, and on to some reviews. This one comes from Juicy Jewel, 5 stars. This is what America needs right now. I read the Wall Street Journal, New York Times every single morning. I'm sick of the piss poor coverage and huge bias from these low IQ reporters. This is exactly what I needed. I'm going to share, post, and get this baby rolling. And that's what we like to hear, Juicy Jewel.
Get it rolling, Juicy
Love to
Jewel.
hear that.
Yep.
Tell them all, Jewel.
And this one comes from GR_01, 5 stars. Best news pod for quick morning commute. Funny, intelligent dudes. Mark could tune it down from an 11 to a 9
What?
sometimes, though.
That guy's not gonna like it when I yelled at Pat and called him a cocksucker earlier.
Yeah,
That was an 11.
that was an 11.
Did you? I don't think you called me a cocksucker.
I'll try to tone it down.
I think you just called me a cocksucker now.
No, play it back.
He called you a non-hero cocksucker.
Yeah, because you didn't go help.
Was that the last review, Wes?
No, one more. This one comes from Jake. We're going to have 2 more. Jake Willimon, and it says, Farva, someone get Will a liter of cola stat.
Oh yeah, bring it over, baby.
Yeah. And then last one from Randy Leahy, 12. Quality news. Great way to get the news without any bullshit. A bit edgy, though. The girlfriend gets upset with something they say and makes me turn off about 1/3 of the episodes. Great review. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor
Sorry
today.
to your girlfriend.
Hey, simple fix there. Just leave her. We'll be here for you.
No, she's a good girl.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
about 1/3 of the episodes. I
Yeah,
would say
if
is
she
pretty-
thinks that I'm a
That's fair.
creep, like
Pretty
1/3 of
dead
the
on
time.
morally, so yeah.
Yep.
So, yep. Just call it. Call the relationship.
Yep, that is very fair. All right, guys, remember, follow, like, leave those reviews and voicemails. Tune into our new pick show today, releasing later sometime. All the live streams, all that stuff. Most importantly, have a great fucking day and weekend.